Hello, Diana.
Hello, Samantha. How are you today? I'm fabulous. I'm always fabulous.
We are part of each other's mind. It's so funny. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast called KISS.
Keep it simple, sister.
And this podcast is all about feeling great by feeling better. So we just look at incremental changes throughout our week, things that Diana and I have picked up throughout our lives and now use on, like, it's on autopilot for us for the most part, that keep us upbeat and keep us feeling good and moving through whatever life has to throw at us, right?
Right.
Wow, that came off smooth that time.
That was really good. It was like you wrote it and you're reading it from maybe like a cue card or something, but you weren't. It was just coming from your brain. Because it just is.
Yes, it just is.
It just is.
So do you want to start us off?
Yes, I will start off with the flip side. And we had a conversation. So the flip side is supposed to be if something that's a little bit challenging, something that might be considered negative, but how we kind of flip it around and look for the positive in whatever's going on. So we were having a discussion before we got on here about how we are storytellers, and especially me. I think it was directed at me because I know that I'm a little verbose, and sometimes and there's a SAT word, and then my stories get a little bit long. So I'm going to try and shorten my story so we have more time for the positive path now that we're putting our weekly Wanderlust all in one, so that this is not a very long podcast. Mm-hmm. So my flip side is, I don't know if I told the story about falling down the steps and spraining my boob. Did I tell that story? I'm not sure if I did or not.
Yeah.
So I was at Annie's house and I
recount.
was multitasking, and I missed the last 3 steps and fell and onto my side and hurt myself, and it felt like I sprained my boob. But I might have bruised my rib, or I might have broken it or something. And the reason why I'm retelling that is because just recently, I also went to Annie's house and helped hang some, she redid her kitchen and hung the cabinets. And then the next, when I came home, I felt like on the top of my boob, it was itchy and kind of painful. And so I think I might have pulled it or something, but I made the mistake of going on WebMD to check it out because I've been watching Firefly Lane, and the girl on Firefly Lane died of metastatic breast cancer, and it started with like a rash, an itchy rash on the top of her boob. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I get on there and I put in itchy, painful breast, and it says could possibly be an early sign of metastatic breast cancer. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not available for breast cancer. I mean, that was my first thought. I'm not available for it. So I go to the doctor and I, tell her what's going on. And she did a breast exam. I didn't feel anything. She didn't feel anything. She was like, it's probably muscular. I'm not sure, but I'm going to send you for a mammogram, and I'm going to send you for, so this is a public service announcement as well as a flip side. Make sure that you're going for your mammograms. Make sure that, that you keep up with all of that. So the other thing that played a factor was that my high school reunion is coming up, and I'm trying to help get people to come, and we're going to have a memorial service for the people that have passed away. And 3 of the girls in my high school class have died of breast cancer. So all of that was kind of playing a part in my brain, like, okay, well, let me get this checked out, because if there's a problem, I'm going to handle it immediately.
You could have really spiraled there.
I did, kind of. And normally I don't, because I'm just like, I'm not available for that. It's not going to be a problem for me, whatever. But I thought better safe than sorry. Yeah. So they sent me yesterday for a mammogram and then also an ultrasound. And it was just the most wonderful experience, which mammograms are not usually the most wonderful experience, but I came in, I sat down, they called me back like in 2 seconds flat. I changed my clothes, went in. The lady was very nice, manipulating my breast around, which was fine. And I was telling her the story about how I was afraid it was metastatic but like I was just wanting to be cautious. And she's like, oh, it's always a good idea to be cautious.
Mm-hmm.
So the flip side is I could have had breast cancer, don't have breast cancer. And I told both of them, I'm not available for breast cancer. I'm just here checking it out just to make sure. So so the flip side is I don't have breast cancer, and that's very exciting. And
Yay.
it was easy. Like I got scheduled quickly. They brought me in, they brought me out. They were very nice. They were talking to me about the one lady who did the ultrasound said, yeah, I missed my mammogram for a year because I had just had one last January and nothing showed up. So that was the other reason why I was like, there's not going to be a problem. I've never had an issue with mammograms, whatever. So this lady said that the radiologist yelled at her because she is a breast ultrasound lady who skipped her mammogram for
Oh,
2 years
oh yeah.
because she doesn't want to come back and do it when she's not working. And I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, like
What,
that's a great reason.
lady?
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a pleasant experience, as pleasant as a mammogram could be. It
Mm-hmm.
was. So that was my flip side.
That is really good. I love that. Well, I
And
mean,
everybody get your mammogram. That's the
yeah.
point of my story.
Well, and I
Definitely.
think
Don't.
all of us, there's that little thing in the back of our head, partly that we don't want to go because we don't want to find out. And like you get that sort of whatever. And then when you do go in and they see a little something and they're like, we need you to come back in, you know, there's that moment of, oh my God. And we all just kind of start to devolve.
Yeah. But the thing
Um,
is, they've made such great strides, especially with all kinds of cancers, but with breast cancer. Do your screenings, because if there is a problem, the earlier you catch it,
yeah, the better.
the better, right?
Hmm.
And it hurts. You don't want to go because you don't want your boob to be smashed in the refrigerator door. That's what it is like, a mammogram, for anybody who's watching this that
No,
hasn't had one.
I just
But
had mine. I had mine not too long ago and I was like, this isn't painful. And she goes, yeah, we don't have to do painful anymore.
And it wasn't painful. I was shocked. That's exciting that they don't have to do painful
Yeah. She goes, it's so much better for us technicians. And I just thought that was so funny that she was saying that because I was like,
Me too.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Oh, nothing smushed it, if I think about it. Well, yeah, it
Yeah,
did, but it didn't have to smash it like.
yeah, where you're sitting there feeling like the machine's taking it off of your body, literally lopping it off. Everyone
Exactly.
knows what we're talking about. Oh, rite of
Okay, so what's
passage.
your flip side?
Yes. Oh, my flip side. Okay. So my flip side kind of goes up and down and up and down. Um I'm very honest, open, whatever about the ins and outs of my relationship with my husband because I want my clients to understand where I'm coming from. That yes, I'm feeling what they're feeling. It's not like I live in a perfect world and everything's,
You get
that
it.
and it's almost like it's my petri dish. Like I can test things, I can try different things out. It definitely teaches me how to employ all these things that you and I talk about and
Right.
stay on that lighter side no matter what's going on between the two of us. And and for me, I have to have the vibration high in the house. Like it's got to be cohesive. It's got to be for me to do the high level work that I do.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, my my husband just he has my back with my readings and all this work that I do. Uh, but it's just been he's on kind of another track and he's had a very challenging time of things and there's been a lot of disconnect between the two of us. I'm trying to find ways to say this without going deep into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I was going up to Charleston for something and all of a sudden he was like, well, I said, I had to go. I wanted to go up Saturday night. And it's 2 hours away. I wanted to go up Saturday night, but I definitely had to go up for Sunday. And I had offered because the Saturday night thing was something that I thought he would actually enjoy, and he'd be upset if I went and he didn't get to go. And so I mentioned it to him. I said, "You could drive up with me, and then we'll go back home, and then I'll drive up by myself on Sunday." And he goes, "Well, why don't we just spend the night?" And I was like, okay. And it wasn't like, oh, fun, because at that point we were kind of really disconnecting. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And I think I might have mentioned it before. It all went well. It all, it ended up being like fantastic. And, so glad that he, came up, that we spent the night, that he was very patient about, because I was doing woo woo stuff the next day. And so like I could see him for a little bit and then I had to do my stuff. And then I could see him for a little bit more and then I had to go back and do my stuff. So anyway, um, so that's kind of the upside of it. But I was going back up this weekend, this past weekend, and he found a gun range he really likes. And like it's bigger than the one here. And you have different targets and it's like, it's very guy, like really cool stuff. And so he's found something up there he likes, which is good. And he liked my friends and everything. But so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be gone all day Sunday. It's gonna be a late night. And he goes, oh, well, I'll drive up with you. And I'm like, well, that's nice. And then I'm going, hold on, those are my friends. And I'm like, and that's my time. And so I said to him, like, it's okay, I've got it, And he goes, well, but you're tired afterwards. And I said, I'm not tired. I'm energized after I do this whole meditation thing with my friends and stuff. And so I'm like, no, I'm really good. And he's just like, yeah, but I found that gun range, it'll be fun. And I don't mind hanging out, which is amazing that he doesn't mind hanging out because it's a full day.
Yeah.
And he I finally had to say, um, I didn't say they're my friend, not yours. It's not. But I said, I just was honest. I said, I really dig into that time. It's like the only time when I'm driving that I can listen to some, not just little snippets of things, but I can listen to longer podcasts,
Solid.
channelings, different things that feed me. And
Yeah.
and I said, I know I can do that. If you're driving, I could still be listening to it. And I know that that could work. But but the energy fills me up and I talk to myself and I'm like, and it's my private space. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
hope you understand. And he's like, okay, well, just know until this date, I can make plans to come with you if you change your mind.
Aw.
And it was really sweet of him. Like I said, this is an up and down one.
Uh-huh.
It was nice because he really discovered something up there that he enjoyed and that like made him feel also a part, a connection to
Yeah.
this other side experience that I have. But it also it was nice for me to establish my boundaries. Remember, like we talked in the podcast Stand in Your Power.
Right.
Um and that was all about knowing what you want and what you don't want and putting voice to it. Like so many times we have clogged throat chakras, and like we feel it by like it's stressed, it hurts here,
Yeah.
it's sore throats and stuff like that. But anyway, so it was really cool to be able to state it and have him hear it and honor it. So
That's great.
it all worked out.
It always does. Everything's always working out for
Good.
us. That's cool.
Okay, so we're going to jump into the positive path.
Yes.
And okay, so can I start off with a little story about how this started for me?
I would love for you to. Yes, that's perfect.
She has no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so
But it's okay. I'm rolling with it like I always do, and it'll be great.
the positive, it always is. The positive path is love and light. Okay, so I'm one of those people that always, well, okay, I'm trying to go which way do I go here? Um, I'll do the other one later. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell a story yet. I'm one of those people that I used to hate when people would say, "Oh, love and light," because it's kind of like, "See you later," you know. And um, maybe it's because I can feel the intent behind words because of my empathic abilities. So when
Yeah.
somebody says it flippantly, it grates on me.
And
However,
see, I never say it flippantly like that. I
no,
always
you
say it
don't.
with intention, like, I want to give you some love and light energy because you're being a jerk.
Hmm.
And so, love and light to you.
Well, I put it at the end of like when I don't do it in business correspondence, like in my marketing world and stuff, But when I'm writing to clients, I always say love and light, because I'm really encapsulating that feel. Like I am sending, it's not just a statement, it's I'm sending that love to them, and I'm hoping that it, like, that light surrounds them, that it illuminates them, that they feel and receive it. Of course, I can't control whether they're going to feel it or receive it. Um,
Right. But
but I
now if
hope
they're
that they,
watching this, they know that's your intent.
yes. And
So,
for
I mean,
real
I
though.
just knowing you, I would know that that's your intent, but some people might not know that you're always trying to help other people
Lift.
lift their energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. So, but you said that you use it in a different circumstance, which I've never used it that way. So,
Well,
what you
it's
mean
when
it? So
I'm
give
driving.
an
It
example.
Yes. So it's like when I'm driving and instead of somebody cuts me off, instead of wishing them ill will, I try and wish them love and light so that they don't go cut somebody else off. Like I'm doing the same thing that you're doing,
Hmm.
but in my mind, it's instead of cussing them out, I'm trying to wish them love and light.
Hmm.
Okay, I hope you get where you're going
Yeah.
safely with a
Whenever.
smile on my face, but in the back of my head, what in the world, Mr. or Mrs.?
Well, and that's where you got to really just know, it's not the the words don't matter as much as the intention behind the words, the feelings.
Got it. Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
and it has helped me not have that road rage kind of feeling
mhm,
anymore. I don't have that anymore.
so it's obviously working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the thing is, it doesn't necessarily need to be so much for them.
It's for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
Because
for me, and it
yeah,
keeps
you're
my
reactive.
energy high. It keeps me from going down that non-positive path.
Hmm. Well, so as a as a da, 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 as a spiritual practitioner, there's so much of the time that, like, I hear people talk about love, and it for me, I was when I first, I mean, I've been doing this over 35 years.
Uh,
Um, but I realized I was very much in my headspace when I
and
was
you were
doing
only
it.
like 2 years old when you started it. I'm
I
pretty
was
sure.
only, I know, isn't that amazing? Um, it was a bit more than that. But so that feeling of like, for me, when people would talk about, like, feel the love around you, embrace the love. Like, when I heard the word love, it's interesting because, like, I would equate it's not that it was a fairy tale, but it was also kind of like I couldn't talk about Jesus. Like, I had no relationship with Jesus. I'd been to church here and there. But when people would talk about Jesus and Jesus's love, and it got connected somehow for me.
Uh-huh.
And, maybe born agains or something, and this
Right.
whole thing with love. So um it got to be a whole kind of, this is before I started writing love and light to people. Like, I
Uh-huh.
I was so uncomfortable, and I'm bringing this up because there's a lot of people who are experiencing this shift, and
Yeah.
they're kind of having a struggle between the two. I know if I did, there's got to be other people.
Oh,
Because
I definitely did too.
did
And
you?
I did because there were a lot of things in my early life that I perceived as, why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this. I'm
Yeah.
a good person. And but I had two brothers that committed suicide. And for a while, I was mad. I was mad at God. I was like, why would you let this happen? And I think part of it is because my parents were Catholic, but we grew up in a resort town. I grew up in a resort town. So we didn't go to church because in the summertime, you couldn't get there because the traffic was so bad. So I didn't have the same religious connection that they did. And then when my brother, the first one who committed suicide, when we went to the service at the Catholic Church, because I was like, yeah, I don't, no, it just doesn't do it for me, the Catholic Church. I thought there was a whole lot of hypocrisy and all that kind of stuff. But when we went, the service, the priest said something like, I can't remember the exact words, but it was basically, he'll be in purgatory because he made this decision. Like, he will never make it to heaven. He'll be in purgatory because he made this decision. And at that
So not
point, I
true.
was like, how awful is that? Like, why? So anyway, I was really mad at God, at the church, at Jesus, because Jesus was God in my mind.
Mhm.
And so it took me a bit to get over that. I don't feel that anymore,
Mhm.
but that was kind of my story and where I came from with that. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, and so when we're talking about this, I mean, it's like kind of there's that we're not talking about, well, but I think it does kind of dilute or affect us when we're saying I love you to somebody else. But we're talking about agape love, I guess, or it's that big overall, it's the cohesive stuff of the universe. I mean,
Right.
energy, they say energy is love. So it's that unified whatever. So we're, you know, if you're sitting there um frustrated at God or that one source or whatever for taking away someone you loved or whatever, like it's that overall, like you could still feel love for a child, you could still, but it does dim that light, I think. Like you're
Right.
cutting
And
yourself off from source.
well, and I think both of us decided that we weren't available for our light to be dimmed.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I
But
and I think, no matter what comes our way at this point, we look to the light. We try and positive path, like, we just trying to find something good in whatever is going on.
yeah. Well, there's something that when you were saying that, oh
Look to
my
the light.
gosh. And now it just went right, women of a certain age.
Oh
Just went
yeah.
right out of my head. Because there's so many different ways that like I love this conversation that I could go with it. Okay, so one thing is, for me with okay, one thing I want to point out is, when we talk about ascension and the evolution of man, like we have been so much in that headspace. But I think before, we were very connected with the earth. We were very connected. I mean, we see that with Native American,
Yeah.
their spirituality, that man before was very connected with what was around them and more
Right.
accepting of the ups and downs and finding meaning in it. And it's when we moved into this headspace that we were more disconnected and we were trying to explain the whys instead of embracing what was occurring.
Exactly.
um because I know that, like, for me, I remember being a part of a Facebook group, and the person I was working with, she just kept saying, Samantha, you just got to let your love shine. And I'm going,
What?
I'm like, literally, my maiden name is Love, Samantha
Well, and
Love.
I thought when I first met you, I thought you made that up. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
okay,
No,
so it
I'm
says
legit.
Samantha Love Kaufman. So she wants everyone to know that she's love and light and whatever. And then when you're like, no, that's my maiden name, I was like, okay.
Yeah. So, so that to have someone say, no, you're not in that space, I took affront to, and then I'm sitting there going, you know, like, what is it I need to do? Because I'm bringing energy through me, I'm pushing out through my heart. And how dare she say that? Um, but in the years since, I have moved into that space. That's where humanity is going. That's where we're going from that headspace to that heart space. The heart space is where the feelings are, and the feelings are what turns around and creates our reality. And so we're stepping into our creatorhood with full intention.
Well,
And
and you have to allow yourself to feel, like, so many people wall that off, that, they don't allow themselves to feel.
because it hurts, or
Yeah,
because if you feel, yeah, because if you feel good, then something bad is going to happen, or
exactly.
it's we take these things to the extreme where if you decide to step into that place of embracing that all arching love and having self love, yeah, stuff's going to happen. It's going to happen one way or another. Why not be happy? Let's put it
Right,
that way.
exactly.
Yeah,
And why
let's
not tell
simplify.
yourself you're not available for being depressed? You're not available for suffering.
Hmm.
Find something good.
Yep.
Look for something good. Search for it.
Well, and
Reach
so
for it.
for me, so much of that moves into, I've really dug deep into the trainings of Bashar, Alan and Bashar,
Uh-huh.
and it's channeled information from these galactics from Essassani, which is supposed to be supposedly um, an aspect of a future of who we are, that we are
Okay.
becoming these, that will branch off into these anyway.
Well, and I think that connecting some of the YouTube channelings and that kind of thing for people to check out would be a great thing, because
Yeah, so that they
you've mentioned
understand that.
Bashar a couple of times, and I'm not really familiar, but I want to be, because I do think that there's a whole lot of cool information there.
Well, and so much like he talked about they talked about law of attraction before law of attraction, like was called that and stuff. And
Uh-huh.
they simplify, like it's or he simplifies the explanations, like it's just very direct, but he's the one that goes more into the space of like you're dealing with, you want to shout at the world, well, you can't possibly love me if you're taking someone away and all this other kind of stuff. But they
Right.
put you, I keep saying they because I'm talking about Alon and Bashar, both teachings,
Uh-huh.
that they put you in that space of, okay, this is interesting. It's all neutral. You're this being that has existed for a very long time. You've put yourself into this interesting world, into these interesting situations, so that you could reflect and experience different points of view, different
Hmm.
perspectives. And so if that's the case, um, and you are not a victim because you've placed yourself there, then it's to move into that space of going, well, this is interesting. I wonder
Right.
why, I wonder why this is. Let's sit back and watch what happens, because you and I talk about the flip side. There's
Uh-huh.
always the flip side. There's always that beneficial side,
Right,
right?
right. And it's funny that you talk about that they talked about law of attraction before it was kind of a thing. Law of attraction was my gateway into all of this. So
A lot
I
of people's, yeah.
and I think we've talked about it a little bit before with Abraham Hicks and Esther
Hmm.
Hicks that channels Abraham. And so we'll also list some of the books and the recordings and all of that. So
If you're not,
um
I'm surprised there's people that still don't know about her, but I'd say 50% of my clients have never heard of her. And I'm just going, okay, this is going to be fun.
Well, one of the things that I love about her too is, and you probably can pick up on this, humor is a thing for me. Like I can understand things through humor. I can tell a story through humor. Like humor is my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's the way it comes through. That's the way Abraham, kind of approaches a lot of these things
Hmm.
through Esther channeling him
Yep. And so does
or them.
Bashar. Yeah. Which, they just say things that make you just, I mean, it always busts the audience up because you're just kind of going, of course, because we look at ourselves and we realize we're taking ourselves too seriously.
Exactly, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's life. None of us, oh, what was it? It's life. None of us are going to get out of it alive. But there was something I just saw that said that I think I sent to you that was like, if you get into a healthy diet and, when you eat healthy things, you're going to die healthier. So the point is you're going to die one way or the other. But I will tell
Right.
you, it feels better to be healthy up to the
On
end.
the way, on
Yeah,
the way.
on the way there to
Well,
your
and
deliverance.
that's, we haven't mentioned a whole lot about it, but, both of us are kind of on the path to trying to be a little bit healthier, taking supplements and exercising and
Mhm.
thinking in a positive way and all of those things just to make life more comfortable along the path, you know?
Yep. And that's it. That's absolutely a huge thing. And I think I was thinking we probably should devote a podcast to it, and
I
just let
think so
everybody
too.
know this is going to be kind of a one-off. We're going to talk about some of the stuff we've discovered because it benefits. Okay, so let me get back into another thing with this, talking about love and light, because
Okay.
we're talking about we send love and light to people, right?
Right.
We're wanting them to feel it and embrace it. So this is a story I was going to tell at the beginning. I was going, no, 'cause it's not part of the progression. Um, so my this started with my sister. She was living in Aspen, Colorado, and she met this woman, and I love this woman's name, Twyla. I just love that name, Twyla. And Twyla was from another world. She just, just existed very like ethereal and like was
I
not
love
very
that name
grounded.
too. That is so cool. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so anyway, she every time that, she would her greeting or goodbye, especially when it was a goodbye, she'd be like, "Well, angels on your body, angels on your body." And my sister told us, and of course that was back in the day, very headspace, very snarky. And we so like we would start saying it just like because we thought it was hysterical. Like it's
Uh-huh.
all angels on your body, and we'd say it
Yeah.
like that. Angels on your body, angels on your body. And and it still holds some of that vibration. But it's funny because as we've progressed into, she has moved into yoga, and so yoga has become her spirituality. So it's like
Uh-huh.
we can understand each other, but her woo is different than my woo. um and
And your woo is different than my woo. Everyone's woo can be a little bit different.
can be it's your own woo. It's all good. So my sister, she like when she says it now, or when I'm saying it to her, like it's sending actually that intent. And I'll just say, "Well, angels on your body." And I'm still like, it's still kind of funny to say it, but the full intent is, you know, may love and these higher beings that express love
Right.
surround you,
Yeah.
and it's actually a very intense concept. But it's, like if anybody's watching this, you got to just try it out. Like it feels so silly every time I say it, but it also lights me up. Like I don't sit there and go, "Oh my God, you're going to be on this dangerous trip and this is going," I know, I'm just like, "Angels on your body."
Yep. You're good. You're
Yeah,
not available for
uh,
anything but goodness and light.
nothing
Go.
but goodness and light. Did we get through? Because I was trying to remember if there was anything else that we wanted to talk about.
Oh, we were going to talk about I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am.
Okay. Um,
Just briefly, because that's probably going to have to be a whole nother
yep,
podcast too.
yep. So, I introduced Diana to this phrase, "I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am." And I can't even say it without feeling the enormity of the statement. And I learned it through watching Blossom Goodchild. And I know when we did our affirmation podcast, I put it up there. Um, but
But we'll add it here again.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
add it here again. Um, but the enormity of the statement is you're literally like you might say it the first time. I'm wondering, I'm sitting here as I say this, I'm like, would it be better to explain this as part of the weekly Wanderlust?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. All right.
Because
So
I forgot that's what we were going to do for the weekly one.
okay.
Yes, totally. Let's explain that. Okay, so sweary affirmation.
Okay. Sweary affirmation first. And then we're gonna move into this. At least we're real, right? We are so real.
If you don't like real, you don't like us. Okay, my little bag of sweary affirmations.
I always like to show both sides. I don't know why.
I like what is that side with the like sunshine thing on it? It reminds me of when is it a sunshine? I don't know. It looks like a sunflower to me. But on I like to watch Sunday morning, and they always have all the things that are different suns that are made out of like seeds and
Hmm.
like different art modalities or materials and stuff like that. That always reminds me of that.
Yep. Yep, it is. But it is a Far Eastern symbol.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's actually sun or not,
It reminds me
but
of sun and
it reminds me of
sunflower. So
sun
that
too.
in
It might
my
be like a
mind,
flower or
it's
something.
the sun. It's
Okay.
light. It's love and light.
So I'm sitting here just doing these quotes
Okay.
back and forth until Diana says for me
Now,
to stop. Okay. I am more than worthy. I am a fucking warrior woman.
I am perfect as usual. I am more than worthy. I am a fucking warrior woman. I know.
Feel the
It's always
power of
perfect,
that.
is it? But isn't it crazy? Because I just sit here and I go now, and it's always perfect with whatever we're talking about.
So the weekly wanderlust is what we started to talk about before. Okay, it's about the phrase, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am. And so Diana, do you want to tell them your kind of funny thing with that phrase when you first learned it?
I don't the thing about washing my hands or
No,
something.
that you would keep saying sorry. Let me just put you on the spot.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Oh, I forgot the. I thought it was I am light, I am love, I am truth. No, it just I am light, I am love, I am. Because I actually made it on a water bottle because I thought I was so spiffy because I was doing what Samantha was teaching me, and we could look at it and we could say, I am love, I am light, I am. And she's like, yeah, no, that's not it.
but it was on a water bottle that you gave to me, and it was so sweet. And I was like, do I say something or don't I? And then I was like, but the thing is, the intent comes across.
Yes.
But so as an experiment, you can try just saying, I am light, I am love, I am, or, like then feel, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am.
Well,
Like,
and that changes it. It really does.
yep,
And
because
so I'll take a picture of the water bottle and post it in the Facebook group just so that you can see the original I am, but it really wasn't I am it was just I am.
I know I need to give you the water bottle so that or get the like so that Annie can redo that because I would love to have that energy on the water bottle.
Well, I
Um
think I want to have her redo it with our logo because I
uh,
love our logo. And I don't know if everybody has looked at our logo, but it's like a butterfly with two faces, and it's just us.
and the color matches your office. Like
Yes,
you're embracing the colors right now.
it's my signature colors.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Well, so okay, the so that phrase that was given to Blossom Goodchild, who's a channeler in Australia, and through her guides, which are the Federation of Light. And there's a lot of Federation of Lights out there that people are channeling different aspects and so forth. And
And
and I
it
just
seems like these guides kind of overlap,
mhm, yeah.
right? I mean, are they all the same people, entities,
No,
beings,
because there are many different federations, aspects of the Federation of Life, and there's people who are tapping into. My understanding is that there's people who this is the woo, sorry, but people are tapping in with their perception. Like if you've got a fearful perception that oh my God, we're gonna have alien attacks and stuff like that,
uh-huh.
then they're tapping into that aspect, which is hold on, let's just do this real quick. So everything's happening all at once, right? Time, I mean, like
It's still blowing my mind. I can't get it yet, but okay.
we're in a three-dimensional reality where in this reality we have time and space.
Okay.
Outside of this reality that we've agreed to, the laws of physics and all, that doesn't exist. Everything's happening all at once. It's a shift in perception. So
Okay.
the people in the 3D reality that talk about the Federation of Light that are focused, who have a fear mentality, they are focusing on a perception of something that had occurred once a long time ago, as far as the progression of
Okay.
the growth of the universe.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so
It's all very, very complicated. So we're trying to simplify it and make it kindergarten, but it's complicated.
it is complicated. But the more that you challenge yourself, the more neurons that develop, those and like those pathways, and the more that you're able to embrace and then accept the next kind of concept.
Yes,
So
yes, which
you
is what's
can get
happened to
there,
me along the way many, many times, almost daily.
and you handle it really well. So the power of this statement that they had given to her, like sometimes they've had sessions where they just chant it over and over and over. And when you do it, it's interesting because you just shift the intonation of it. Like you
Uh-huh.
just start off saying, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am. Okay, that's just, you're not invested. But as you start going through it, you'll find that you start going, okay, like think about it. I am the love. I am that expression of love. If love
Right.
is
Well, and sometimes
everything.
I'll do a different stressor on each word.
Hmm.
I am the love.
Hmm.
I am the love. I am
Exactly.
the love. I am the love.
I am the
It feels
love.
a little different with each way you say it too.
Oh, it does. It does. Well, so when you're looking at these words, so I am the love, and when you're feeling out the word, to get to the point of energy is love. Those are interchangeable. Energy is love, and that is
Right.
source. That is the one. That is how we're all connected. So when you start to feel that out, I am the love, like you're an aspect of it. You are it. That is the truth. So like, I am the love. I am the light. You are that thing that is bringing brightness into this world. You are of that essence.
Yeah.
And then I am the truth. And that always blows me away, because the fact that we are walking in three-dimensional reality, and we are the first beings to embrace this whole truth and still be an embodiment. Everything else vibrates at a higher level, and they're closer. They're in that space of love. We
Uh-huh.
have been so into, anger, frustration. Like for so long, we have been, like humanity rises and then we get out of balance and we start over. Civilizations,
Well,
just
and
do this
that's why
over and
our
over.
positive path is so important. That's why us doing this podcast is so important. That's why living the life and being the example that we are to other people is so important.
Hmm. So that is you, like, recognizing that you are the truth, the love, the light. That's the truth. And then just to encapsulate it with I am. That's
I
kind of
am
like dropping
all
the
of
mic.
that. I am. Yes,
The drop the
exactly.
mic moment. Um, so you say it.
I am the love. I am the light. I am the truth. I am.
And see, you're going up on it right now, because I find that when I say it to people, like, I'm just saying, here it is. I
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to hear your intonation. I will go up. I'll go, I am the light. I am the light.
Uh-huh.
But when you start doing this over and over again, you'll get into that I am the love. I am the light. I am the truth. I am. Like we're
Yeah.
saying, you'll just find you'll do different intonations, and it's super
Uh-huh.
fun.
Well, and so that's what our weekly Wanderlust is going to be. We want you to practice saying those words and feeling those words.
Hmm.
And it seems weird. Like, at first you're like, all right, I am the love, I am the light, I'm the truth, I am. They told me to say, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am. But hold on, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am.
Yeah, I know. You just, it's so funny because you want to throw, like, you start feeling like you're the shit,
A
man.
Sweary affirmation in there for sure.
fucking warrior woman,
Yes.
because it builds you up, like it fires you.
Yeah.
How truthful is
Like
that
right
statement
now,
if
I
it does
feel
that?
I'm vibrating. Like I feel the energy when I say that. And so my suggestion, like when one of the other podcasts we were talking about Ho'oponopono, which is that, and I have to look at it each time because I always forget. I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you.
Mhm.
I started doing that like after of course, when you go to the bathroom, you have to wash your hands because I'm a teacher and I'm just going to make sure everyone is still doing that because, um, hygiene. And so I would do that as I was looking in the mirror, washing my hands to make sure that I was washing them long enough.
Mhm.
And also to practice it, I was saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I had it down when I was doing it all the time. Excuse me. But my suggestion is when you're getting ready in the morning and you're getting ready to brush your teeth or whatever, looking in the mirror, say it and say it every day and see what changes for you. See how you feel. See what you think. See and then tell us in the Facebook group because
Yeah.
you do feel a change when you start really embodying it.
And I'm
Things
gonna
change for you.
I will throw this out as a caution, because this is one thing that when I'm working with clients who are really struggling with their self-worth and so forth,
Yeah.
one of the tasks that I have them do is to look at themselves in the mirror, look themselves dead in the eye, and just say, I love you. And most of them can't do it. Most of them, like, it's too hard. And I'm like, we're going to take you on a journey of self-love. You're going to date yourself. You're going to romance yourself. And it's this whole concept of getting to that point where you can say it and mean it. So this is the goal of what we would like y'all to do, is to be able to say it 5 times, looking at least 5 times, looking in the mirror. But if you are in that frame of mind where your self-worth has plummeted, you feel like you cannot, you're going through whatever stressful time it is, and you just feel like you can't do it, that's a signal right there that you need to work through that.
Yeah.
You need some help. So if you need to, then go outside, go somewhere else, sit down and say the phrases, because the embodiment of the phrases is so important. But we do want you to be able to look at yourself in the mirror eventually and feel that power coming back at you and acknowledging who you are.
And if you really, really struggle with it,
Mhm.
you need to reach out to Samantha and have her work with you because
Or
she's
someone
really
like
good.
me, yes.
Or someone like her, but I highly recommend Samantha Love Kaufman.
Please leave comments. We love them. And we are currently doing focused on a giveaway where if you comment, you interact with us. We love it. And your name will go in a list that we are creating of people who are um, getting into the conversation with us.
Yes.
And so we have little things that we want to send out, just cool
Yeah.
stuff, whatever. And
Well,
also
and we
join the
want you to
Facebook
have
group.
and
Mhm.
we want you to have conversations with each other, not just us. We
Yes.
want the Facebook group to be a group of friends, a safe place where we can discuss some of these things
Wait, I'm going
and
to
help
correct
each
that.
other.
The Facebook group is a place where we have friends. I heard that you said want, and
Oh,
I'm
I said
right
we
now.
want it to be. No, it is. I am. It is.
I'm so, like, when we get into these conversations, I can feel the energy of the words so much, and I'm just going,
Yes.
oh my gosh, But just know, like, when we're all in that space together sharing, the synergy is so amazing, and so
Yes.
that's what we want.
Well, and that's the whole point of this
Desire.
podcast. Like we have other things that we can do or should be doing or probably would be doing, but this is so important to us to
Hmm.
help this group of people. And oh, the other thing I was going to say is
Oh yeah.
share the podcast with your friends and get them to join our group. Or if they're not into being in a Facebook group or they're not on Facebook, they can find us on YouTube
Yeah.
and go back and look at some of the other podcasts because we're funny and we have fun and we're trying to help you people. Help yourselves. Help you. Help me help you.
I love that. And there's also an accompanying blog So you can go to the blog. We have a store where everything we mention in the podcast, you can find all of it there. It's all listed, like in the store when that opens up, but you can always find it in the resources, in the posts, in the blog posts.
And
So
I just
all
have
of it.
another real quick suggestion.
Mm.
When my brain and my life was first open to Abraham Hicks and Esther Hicks, I would listen to the little 15-minute blurbs on YouTube while I was in the shower. But Samantha told me that I need to connect with my higher power in the shower. But you can do whatever you want in the shower or getting ready or
Yes.
whatever. But that's where I picked a lot of it up. Oh, and the other thing is, if you don't have time to sit and watch our podcast, listen to us in the car.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that's where I listen to a lot of my podcasts. That's where I catch up on things. Sometimes I'm on YouTube researching stuff for what we're going to talk about. But the car is your friend. The shower is your friend.
And this is broken up into chapters. You can go down to the timestamp and see when we're talking about the next thing, like the positive path or the flip side or whatever. So we've made it as easy as possible so you can take it in little chunks and have fun with it.
Okay. And Samantha says we, but she really means she, because I don't understand how any of that stuff works. All right. Well, let's wrap this up and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend. Why did I say weekend?
I don't know, but just chop it out. Just do the bye.
I can't.
You can't?
No. So let's do it again. Just go
All
bye.
right, wrap it up.
Okay, do the wrap up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Bye. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
And I do like the way my hand's doing this, so I'm going to do the princess wave from now on. See you next time.